My name is Minister Bardner Porter, and today on the Bible Taught with Simplicity, we're going to look at, is Trump really the culprit? Now, the good Lord put this upon my heart because there are a lot of people who see President Trump as the leader of the free world, and some of them look at him as though he's a dictator with power to make laws and cause things to happen as he wills. And that's because they're ignorant of how our government really works. So I titled this, Is Trump Really the Culprit? And the reason why is during the first year of the second Trump administration, policy changes have created significant difficulties across economic, social, and administrative sectors. There are a lot of people crying about the way things are in the United States of America, believing that Trump is the culprit, that Trump has this power to do whatever he jolly well pleases, and nothing could be further from the truth. Number one reason that people are upset right now is because increased living costs. A lot of people are mad because of that. Sweeping tariffs on imports and trade wars have contributed to record high grocery prices and rising utility bills, which grew at 2.5 times the annual inflation rate in 2025. So when they see Trump bragging about putting all these tariffs on the other countries who import things into the country, they say it's all his fault. It's all Trump's fault. He's the reason why our grocery bill has went up and our utility bills are going up. It's Trump's fault. Okay? And then the second thing that they're complaining about right now is healthcare losses, cuts to Medicaid, and the expiration of Affordable Care Act tax credits are estimated to result in 15 million people losing health coverage, accompanied by significantly higher premiums for small business owners and self-employed workers. So again, they see that this has happened under the Trump administration and they are blaming him. They believe that he is the sole purpose for people losing their health care. All right. Number three thing that they all complain about right now is reduced food and housing support. The Republican mega bill implemented the largest cuts to food stamps in history, while the administration has targeted housing assistance for formerly homeless individuals, threatening to force thousands back onto the streets. And I remember when he cut the food stamps. Well, I should say, I remember when the food stamps were cut during his administration. And people say it's his fault. He's the one that done it. That Trump, we should have never voted for that Trump. That Trump's a devil. We can't stand him. And they hate him with a passion, not understanding that Trump is just a puppet. He's a puppet being controlled by puppeteers. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So that's one of the things they're complaining about right now. Now, another thing they're complaining about is government service delays, rapid reductions in the federal workforce, including a 25% staff cut at the IRS and more than 11% at the Social Security Administration, have led to drastic increases in call wait times and record backlogs for veteran services. So because a lot of people in the government lost their job under the Trump administration, they believe that he is solely responsible. It's his doing. And because people lost their job at the IRS and the Social Security Administration, that affects the customer service, of course. So that's another thing they're complaining about right now. Then another thing is, and this is one of the main things, immigration hardships. Right now, all over the country, we got all kinds of crazy people interfering with the work of the ICE agents to round up the illegal immigrants and get them out of the country. A woman was just killed about a week ago out there interfering with the work of these ICE agents. So that's a big one right here. Immigration hardships. Efforts to pause immigrant visas from 75 countries and an extreme deportation campaign have separated families and worsened healthcare workers' shortages. So this is a huge thing that's happening right now in the country, and they say it's Trump's fault. He's the culprit. He's the reason why all these things are happening. We should have never voted for that little orange man. And I just sit in amazement that there are so many stupid people in this country that it's not funny. All right. Another thing that people are complaining about, especially my people, so-called black people, civil rights rollbacks. Executive orders have dismantled diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across government and federal contracting, while investigations into woke initiatives have chilled efforts to address systemic inequalities in education. So this is something that a lot of black people are upset about right now, because this is something that benefited African Americans. The president of the United States of America is nothing but a puppet controlled by the puppeteers that you don't see every day in the news or in the media. And it's very easily researched today. Critics of modern political structures often argue that the American presidency is more symbolic than the substantive functioning as a frontman for a globalist power elite. You see them all sitting around the table there? In this view, clandestine groups like the Bilderberg Group, an annual gathering of billionaires, politicians, and bankers, are the true architects of policy, operating behind a veil of secrecy to manage world affairs. And this is a fact. This is exactly how our government is controlled. It is by this group of elitists, billionaires, who meet secretly, and they discuss how things are going to play out on the world stage. Now, I want to play my little Bilderberg video right about now. Check it out.
Bilderberg Group is a meeting of the most influential people in Europe and North America. Wall Street investors, business moguls, politicians, royalty. They're all coming together and keeping the media and everyone else out. What are they discussing? What are they plotting? Doesn't the public have a right to know? Well, apparently no. Though what they chat about could very well end up impacting your 401k or who knows what else.
Security was tight today at the Grove Hotel in this leafy area north of London. 140 members of the global elite arrived here for a top-secret, hush-hush, off-the-record conference in the English countryside. How's this for a guest list? The head of the International Monetary Fund, former Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner, the heads of Amazon.com, Google, and BP Oil, former General and CIA Director David Petraeus. Them came here today for the Bilderberg Conference. That's Bilderberg, not Build-A-Bear. Participants are tight-lipped about discussions, other than to say topics will range from the economy to jobs to U.S. foreign policy, what the organizers call megatrends and the major issues facing the world. Reporters and outsiders are not allowed in, and everything is off the record. Organizers say that so participants can take time to listen, reflect, and gather insights. Protesters from around the globe have descended upon the venue, objecting to the secret nature of the meetings, which have been going on behind closed doors among European and North American elites since 1954. Protester Daniel Kirby explains.
It's just a gathering of people who are concerned that our elected politicians who promise transparency are meeting in secret with the heads of top banks, pharmaceutical companies, weapons companies. You name it, European royalty are in there, sort of thing. It's just incredible that they can say one thing and do the other.
Pretty nutty conspiracy theories about the group abound. They're hiding the cure for cancer, for example. But just because Bigfoot believers who are often offensively wrong are on the case here does not mean there isn't reason for the rest of us to be wary, as these masters of the universe confab away from cameras. The conference wraps up on Sunday, and organizers say there will be no resolutions or votes and no policy statements.
I think it would be very naive to think that all of these people are going to turn up to a meeting unless it has some effect.
Gerard Batten is a member of the European Parliament for London.
I'm sure that they are actually reaching decisions about which way public policy should be going in the countries that are represented, and of course in the European Union.
And so those are the people who truly control this country and the world, the Bilderberg Group, and they are responsible for everything that happens. And this is not a good thing, because these are wicked, evil people. These are devil worshipers. At the very core, they are Luciferians. They worship Lucifer. And all they care about is money. They'll do anything for money. Like the 9/11 so-called attack, they knew about it. They could have stopped it, but they saw that they could use it for an excuse to go over into those countries and get control of the oil. That whole thing was the work of the Bilderbergers. Now, I want you to check out this little video on World Trade Building number 7. Check this out.
On the 11th day of every month, they hang out their banner on Hollywood Boulevard and hand out DVDs to passing drivers.
Question the official story.
They are members of a persistent tribe of skeptics that believes the official version of what happened a decade ago is a lie.
What we're here to do is raise awareness to push for an unbiased and clean investigation.
There are groups of 9/11 skeptics in every major city nationwide, and they say their numbers are growing.
History has shown it's not crazy to question your government, it's crazy to not question your government.
Tower.
San Francisco area architect Richard Gage has marshaled evidence he believes shows the World Trade Center towers were destroyed in a controlled demolition.
There's so many problems to this official fairy tale we're being fed.
He points to World Trade Building number 7, a 47-story tower that was not hit by an airplane, yet collapsed in 40 seconds. The official version blamed fire.
Building 7 tells us that there's a cover-up. Building 7 is the smoking gun of 9/11 that is obvious to everybody with a small amount of open-mindedness.
And unfortunately, a lot of people don't even have that small amount of open-mindedness. And that's why no one's talking about it, except a small group. Building 7 wasn't hit by any airplane, and yet it went down. And even the ones that were hit by airplanes, there were explosives in those buildings that brought them down. Now, another video I want to play right about now is former Governor Jesse Ventura, who's an advocate for exposing the Bilderbergers. Check this out.
Jesse Ventura never shies away from a fight, not as a Navy SEAL, bodyguard for the Rolling Stones, pro wrestler, or as governor of Minnesota. And he's picking plenty more with his new book, 63 Documents the Government Does Not Want You to Read. Welcome back, Jesse Ventura. And I do promise, you do not have to follow Chris Rock the next time you're on the show.
Thank you, George. He is a tough act to have to follow. What a funny guy.
He is a very funny guy. But let's get right
Sure.
here, because we talked about this a little bit your last time on the show as well. This whole idea that you have some documents which you say at least reinforce the idea that the government had advanced knowledge that 9/11 could happen.
Absolutely.
And didn't work to stop it. Now, I find a hard time believing you actually believe that.
Why? I'm a Vietnam veteran, and they lied to me about the Gulf of Tonkin incident. And that was the false flag operation that put us into the Vietnam War, where 58,000 of my generation were killed. And now I was teaching at Harvard when McNamara came through and admitted it never happened. False flag operations, if you go through history, happen all the time before these wars.
But that's very different from saying that the government knew 9/11 was coming, knew the plans were coming, and didn't try to stop it.
Well, take a look at my book. It's no more shocking than our government going down to Nicaragua and infecting hundreds of people with syphilis to see if penicillin worked. George, let me state this. There are great people that work in government. There are dedicated, patriotic people in government. But when you read this book, the scary part of this book for me, you could substitute the word Nazi and it would work.
But the documents you use on 9/11 show, there's one document that suggests that Tower 7 fell down faster than it could have fallen down just by natural.
It doesn't suggest it, it says it. It said it fell at, NIST report said it fell at free fall.
So then you make the
wait a
leap
minute. That means you got to defy the laws of physics. That means everything was removed in which for anything to fall at free fall speed.
But then you make that leap then to the idea that it was demolished by explosives inside by the government.
I don't make a leap. Why didn't they check for explosives? They never did, if not to eliminate them. They didn't do that. This book is all documents that are out in the public domain. I'm not WikiLeaks. I didn't steal anything. You just got to find them. And there are documents here so disturbing, like the CIA's assassination manual. Excuse me, assassination is just a nice word for first-degree murder, and we have a manual that tells how to do it and everything about it. As far as I know, George, first-degree murder is illegal in every country in the world.
But aren't there some cases where it would be justified, a tyrant who's killing hundreds of thousands of people?
Who makes the call? I'll say this, too, about if we go back to bin Laden. Why haven't we indicted him? That gives us reason to go get him. We haven't indicted him. The government has never come forward, convened a grand jury, presented one shred of evidence that he did it officially, and get an indictment.
So you don't believe he was behind it either?
I don't know. But my government's lied to me so often, they've lost their credibility with me, George.
And you do have the documents you say support some of these theories in the book.
And the good thing about this book, it's not me telling you about the documents. I give you my opinion, but then we reprint every document so the reader can read for themselves.
And I really, really like the fact that Jesse puts out that information for the people who are searching for the truth concerning the government. So the Bilderbergers are behind this. Everything we see that's happening in the world, it's not Trump. Trump is just a puppet. Just like the two-party system that we have in this country, the Republican and Democratic Party, they're two sides of the same coin. The Bilderbergers knew if they could divide the country into these two parties and truly have them believing that one is trying to do good for the people while the other is not, they can keep the people separated. That's what this whole thing is about, keeping people separated and creating this false illusion of inclusion. They want the average American citizen to believe that their vote counts and that they really have a say in how things go in the government. And so they have these debates, two sides of the same coin, keeping people divided, both of them designed by the Bilderbergers. Okay? So why the Bilderberg? The Bilderberg group is frequently singled out by critics and theorists due to its unique combination of unrivaled influence and strict secrecy. This is why thinking people point at the Bilderberg group, okay? Here is why this specific group is the focus of so much scrutiny. Number one, elite membership. The group consists of 120 to 150 of the world's most powerful people, including current and former heads of state, CEOs of multinational corporations, and high-ranking military and intelligence officials. Now, any thinking person would say, now, wait a minute. This is society's so-called most important people having these clandestine meetings where the public is not allowed in, nor are they allowed to even know what they discussed in the meeting. Something is rotten in Denmark. Something is not right. Something is out of place. That's what an intelligent person's mind would come up with when they see this sort of thing happening. This elitist group, and all of the people who are part of it are people of means and influence. The number two thing why they get so much scrutiny is a kingmaker reputation. Critics point to attendees who arose to power shortly after their first meeting, such as Bill Clinton. He attended a Bilderberg meeting in 1991, and he was elected in 1992. And Tony Blair, he attended in 1993 and became the prime minister in 1994. So this is another reason why thinking people say the Bilderbergers are up to no good, okay? A third reason why intelligent people believe that they are up to no good is the Chatham House rule. What's the Chatham House rule? Meetings are held under the Chatham House rule, which allows participants to use information from the discussions, but strictly forbids identifying the speakers. This lack of transparency leads many to believe the group is making binding global policy away from public oversight. Just like the man said in that video. He said, there's no way in the world that these people of means and power are meeting and they're not doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. All right, another reason why they are the focus of so much scrutiny, the one world goal. Founding member Dennis Healy once admitted that while a one world government was an exaggeration, the group did strive for a single community throughout the world to prevent conflict, a goal that many view as an attempt to erode national sovereignty. Now, this is big because this ties right into a prophecy in the Bible that there's going to be a one world system in the last days in the book of Revelation. and the Antichrist is going to appear on the world stage at that time. So Donald Trump is not the real culprit. He is just a puppet, just a front man. It's the Bilderbergers who are the ones controlling everything. And they prop up a U.S. president in front of people so people who are not intelligent can focus on that one person. They are the reason that we got all these new policies that are affecting people in the U.S. They decided that. Trump doesn't decide anything. He just does what he's told, like a good little boy. And so that's what's really going on. So we need to focus on learning about God and asking him to mold us into the type of people we need to be. That's what we should be focused on, period. Nothing else, because we have no control of the devil and his people and what they do. They can only do what God allows them to do. But there will come a time when God's going to punish them. That's why in the Bible book of Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21, the wise King Solomon, being guided by God's Holy Spirit, he wrote, though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So they think they're on top right now. They feel invincible. They feel mighty. They feel powerful. But when the one true God returns, they're going to know that everything they believed was wrong. And they're going to end up in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone. Every last one of them. And the latter part of Proverbs 11, verse 21 says, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So even though we're going to go through a very difficult time in the tribulation, we're going to be delivered. We need to just hold on to God, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to be a cakewalk. It's not. It's going to be terrible. The Antichrist is going to be here pretending to be Jesus. And he's going to have a false prophet with him who's empowered by the devil to snap his fingers and make fire fall from the sky and convince those who don't belong to God. See, only those whose names aren't written in the Lamb's book of life is going to be caught up in this deception. And it's going to be open season on all real Christians. We're going to be, a lot of us are going to be locked up, tortured, degraded, humiliated, and put to death. But with God helping us, we're going to stand for him. We're going to stand and we're going to give that final witness before they chop our heads off. So it's not going to be a picnic. It's going to be very difficult. And so that's why you and I need to get rooted and grounded in our Father's word. We need to dive in deep and pray for the Holy Spirit to help us understand and learn God's truth. And more importantly, to mold us and make us into what God said we are supposed to be. Don't get caught up in what you see the wicked doing, because it looks like they're winning right now. It looks like they're on top. But the sweet psalmist, King David of Israel, wrote in the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter, at verse 1, fret not yourself because of evildoers. Don't get all upset because of the evildoers. Neither be you envious against the workers of iniquity. Like I said, it looks like they're on top. The Bilderbergers with all the money and the influence, like they're running things. He said, don't be envious of the workers of iniquity, the workers of lawlessness, in other words, because that's what iniquity is. It's sin. He says in verse 2, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So there is coming a time when God is going to put down their rule and put them down permanently. Remember that. God says it in the Old Testament and in the New that he's going to get rid of all those wicked people, all those Bilderbergers up there in their little secret meetings, plotting and planning and manipulating things. In the New Testament book of Matthew chapter 13, verse 40, Jesus said, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so will it be in the end of this world. Tares are weeds that they would gather and burn up. He says it's going to be just like that in the end of the world. Verse 41, the Son of Man, which is Jesus, will send forth his angels. Look, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, which is lawlessness. So Jesus is going to send his angels to get him up out of here. He says in verse 42, and will cast them into a furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So they're going to go into that lake of fire and brimstone, and they're going to burn and burn and burn as long as justice demands. It's going to be horrible what's going to happen to them. They're going to get paid back for all the evil they have done. He says in verse 43, then will the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Jesus says, who has ears to hear, let him hear. So Christ says, this is what I have in store for my children. And so that's what we got to focus on, saints, because a lot of us are focused on what we can see. And what we see right now is not good at all. But God has made us certain promises in his word, and God cannot lie. That's the one thing that God is incapable of doing, lying, because he's righteous, holy, and pure. He's a just God. There is no evil in God. There is no darkness in him. He is light, the scriptures tells us. So we need to know these things about Jehovah God and his son Jesus and the Holy Spirit, all three members of the Godhead. He makes us promises in the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter. In Daniel chapter 2, verse 44, the Lord had the prophet Daniel write under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit concerning these last days. And in the days of these kings, those who will be ruling in the last days, will the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom will not be left to other people, but it will break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it will stand forever. So when Christ comes back, all that the Bilderbergers have established on this planet is going to be destroyed and replaced with the kingdom of heaven. And if you and I were faithful unto death, we are going to be citizens of that kingdom.
If this particular Bible study has been a blessing to you, and you want to bless me with a love gift of any amount, this is how you can do that. My code is cash.app/$Barton1014. And then all you need is my name, Barton Porter, and my phone number, which is 630-441-4563. Now, here are non-financial ways you can be a blessing to yours truly and this ministry. I need your prayers, saints. Pray for Minister Porter and pray for this ministry. And share the Bible study videos. If you're being blessed or encouraged or taught through this ministry, share these Bible study videos with as many people as possible. I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button. It does not cost you a penny. And underneath the video also, after you hit the subscription button, there's a little bell icon. Click on that bell icon. That bell is the notification icon. Every time a video is released, you will get a notification. And underneath the video, there's two thumbs, one up, one down. If you like my video, please take the time to hit that thumbs up button. And please take the time to put something in the comment section.